The sun was rising slow, pouring molten gold over a mirror-still ocean. From the haze emerged the Freedom Current 2026, a vessel so sleek it seemed carved from a single breath of wind. Its hull shimmered silver blue, its edges pulsing with faint electric light, like veins of life running through a living creature. Captain Alara stood at the bow, her hair lifting in the sea breeze. She had spent 15 years designing vessels for other people, until she built one for herself. This was not just a boat, it was her declaration that she would never live by the clock again. Below deck, the control room hummed softly. Screens floated like ghosts, reading waves, wind, current, heart rate. The AI voice, gentle, genderless, spoke. Course set. Eastern drift. Estimated horizon reach in 5 hours. Alara smiled. Let's find out what's beyond ours. The Freedom Current slid forward. Sunlight fractured across its surface, and the ocean began to whisper. Every movement was effortless, silent, almost sacred. Inside, the lounge glowed with morning light, white seats, glass walls, rippling reflections dancing across the ceiling. A single cup of coffee steamed on the table, untouched, because the view itself was enough to wake her. As she moved through the corridor, pressure doors sighed open. The scent of polished steel mixed with salt. She passed the observation chamber where a young engineer, Kai, watched the sonar feed. All systems balanced, he said. Sea depth 4,000 meters. We're floating on a giant lung. Then breathe, she replied. They laughed, and for a while the only sound was the ocean exhaling. By noon the sky deepened into an impossible blue. The rooftop deck unfolded automatically. Panels spread like wings, catching sunlight to feed the silent engines. Alara reclined near the infinity pool, scrolling through old photographs, cities, contracts, faces she barely remembered. None of them looked real anymore. A drone camera rose from the stern, capturing the Freedom Current from above. In its lens, the vessel was a silver feather drifting through eternity. Down below, Kai tuned the energy core. You built perfection, he murmured. Perfection is just peace that forgot to end, Alara answered, without looking up. Hours passed in that rhythm, sun, sea, silence. Yet somewhere deep inside, the vessel's sensors registered pressure changes. The AI spoke again. Wind shift detected. Atmospheric tension rising. Possible storm cell, 120 kilometers east. Alara didn't change course. Let it come, she said. Freedom isn't calm water. Evening fell like a slow curtain. The LEDs along the hull came alive, tracing the outline of the craft in cobalt blue. The deck lights bathed everything in soft electric glow. Music drifted from hidden speakers, something old, slow, human. Dinner was simple. Fish, citrus, laughter. The crew, just 4 souls, spoke of nothing and everything. At midnight, when stars painted the water, they fell quiet. The ocean around them looked infinite, but there was a line where darkness met light, the edge of the storm. Alara stood again at the bow. Lightning flickered far away, silent for now. She whispered to the sea. Show me what you keep hidden. The first gust hit just before dawn. The calm surface wrinkled, then tore. Waves began to rise, luminous under the boat's leads. The AI's tone sharpened. Warning. Category 3 turbulence inbound. Kai strapped himself at the console. We can divert west. No, Alara said. We ride it. Rain erupted. The Freedom Current plunged into white chaos, engines screaming beneath the roar. Spray hammered the windows. Lightning cracked overhead, and for an instant the entire vessel glowed like molten metal. Inside the observation chamber, glass walls trembled but held. Outside, the sea clawed at the hull, furious that something dared glide through its heart. Alara shouted above the thunder, power to stabilizers. Stabilizers at 90%, core heat rising. A beam of light shot from the control interface as systems rerouted energy. The ship lurched sideways, then corrected itself. Every sensor blinked red. For 2 hours they fought, human will against ocean pulse. Water streamed through drainage lines, decks slick and shining. Then, as abruptly as it began, the storm released them. The clouds broke apart, revealing a pale blue morning that looked almost shy after the violence. Steam rose from the warm hull. The Freedom Current drifted, breathing. Everyone aboard stood silent, half in disbelief, half in awe. Alara looked around. The world reborn. We made it, Kai said quietly. No, she replied. We became it. The AI chimed softly. Structural integrity intact. Energy reserves stable. You may resume course. Alara leaned on the railing, watching the sun rise through mist. Droplets gleamed on her skin like stars. Plot new course, she whispered. Anywhere the map forgets. The vessel responded, engines humming low, turning toward the open horizon once more. The sea was calm again, but inside every crew member something had shifted. They had tasted the raw, untamed version of freedom, and survived. As the Freedom Current 2026 glided onward, a pod of dolphins appeared beside it, dancing in the wake, silver arcs slicing through sunlight. Kai laughed. The sound carried over the water, pure and unplanned. The camera drone, still recording, caught everything: the wounded sky, the radiant ship, the human faces touched by something divine. The morning after the storm looked like another world. The air was crystal, the ocean smooth as glass. It was as if the storm had scoured away the noise of civilization and left the planet clean again. The Freedom Current 2026 floated quietly at the center of a boundless mirror, the only movement a thin ribbon of vapor trailing from its turbines. Alara stood barefoot on the deck. Her reflection merged with the sky until it seemed she was walking on both. The storm had left scars on the hull, burned streaks, chipped paint, but she loved them. They made the vessel alive, proof that perfection could bleed and still shine. Alara. Status check. Kai. All systems stable. Hull integrity 98%. Energy core at full regeneration. Alara. Good. Let's keep it imperfect. She smiled. Kai didn't ask why. He understood now that this journey wasn't about reaching a destination, it was about dismantling boundaries, between sea and sky, between human and machine, between fear and desire. Down in the engine corridor, the AI dimmed its lights as if whispering. AI, Captain, satellite links are down. We're off every chart. Alara, exactly where we belong. They drifted east for 2 days. The crew found a rhythm. Morning silence, afternoon laughter, midnight stargazing on the roof. Music played softly from the lounge, an old vinyl looped through digital amplifiers, crackling with nostalgia. In the underwater observation chamber, neon fish glided past the glass, lighting the room with their own language. Mira, the youngest crew member, pressed her hand to the transparent wall. Mira, do you think they know we're watching? Kai, maybe they think we belong to them. She smiled. Maybe freedom isn't escape. Maybe it's belonging to nothing and everything. Alara watched them from the doorway, a quiet pride in her eyes. For the first time in her life, she had no meetings, no deadlines, only horizons. That night, an aurora unfurled over the sea, green ribbon swaying across the darkness. The ocean answered with phosphorescent light, every ripple glowing. The Freedom Current became a floating mirror of the cosmos. Alara, softly, record this. AI, recording initiated. The drone rose again, spiraling above them. From its lens, the ship looked unreal, a streak of light gliding through another galaxy made of water. By dawn they reached a stretch of water that shimmered silver white. Sensors failed to read depth. The compass spun. Even the wind paused. AI, Captain, anomaly detected. Magnetic distortion below hull. Kai, could be an undersea vent. Should we avoid it? Alara, no. Dive mode. Panels shifted. The lower deck sealed as the Freedom Current descended slowly beneath the surface. For the first time the entire hull became transparent, liquid light poured through. The crew gasped. Beneath them spread a city, ruins glowing with faint blue energy, towers collapsed under centuries of coral. Mira, it's beautiful, like time stopped breathing. Alara, maybe it never learned how. They hovered above the ruins. The AI projected scans, ancient architecture, unregistered symbols. The patterns pulsed in rhythm with the ship's core, as if recognizing kin. Suddenly the core lights flickered. The vessel trembled. AI, energy resonance detected. Unknown source responding to our frequency. Kai, it's syncing itself. Alara, don't shut it down. Let them speak. Through the water, lines of light rose from the ruins, curling upward, touching the hull like luminous fingers. A low hum filled the cabin, not mechanical, not natural, something in between, an echo from another intelligence. The Freedom Current glowed brighter, every system responding. AI, distorted, connection, established. On the main screen, ancient script morphed into words they could read. Freedom is not motion. Freedom is awareness. Then the light faded. The ocean went still. The crew sat in silence. Alara's eyes glistened. Alara, They were travelers too. Maybe they built something like this before the world forgot. Mira. And now we've remembered. The Freedom Current began to ascend. When it broke the surface, the dawn burst open, gold, red, white. Steam rose around the vessel like rebirth. Alara walked to the bow. The AI spoke again, voice steady now. AI, Captain, new coordinates received, from the anomaly. Alara, plot them. The map displayed a single glowing point far beyond any known route. She didn't hesitate. Set course. For 3 more days they chased the coordinates. Seas shifted from blue to violet, the air turned luminous at night. Every crew member felt it, the sense of crossing an invisible border. On the 4th morning, the ocean ahead changed texture, smooth as silk yet dense like mercury. The Freedom Current glided over it, and the world fell silent. No wind, no horizon, only light. Kai, whispering, "Are we still on Earth?" Alara, "Maybe this is what Earth becomes when it stops pretending to be solid." The vessel slowed to a stop. The AI dimmed its panels. AI, end of mapped coordinates reached. Alara, open all observation shields. The walls retracted. The crew stood surrounded by pure light, water invisible beneath them. Above, stars burned even in daylight. Time felt absent. Alara took a breath, stepped forward until her reflection vanished in brightness. Alara, this is freedom. Not a place, a condition. She looked back at her crew, faces glowing, eyes wide with peace. Alara, whatever happens next, remember this silence. The Freedom Current 2026 pulsed once, as if answering. The engines went quiet, yet the ship moved, carried by something unseen. The Aurora returned, spiraling around the hull. AI, Captain, systems show no propulsion source. Alara, we're being guided. The light thickened, forming a path. The vessel followed, weightless, graceful. The sea merged with sky until there was no boundary left. They sailed like that for hours, or maybe years. Time had melted. Each person saw memories flicker in the glow, childhood laughter, forgotten faces, cities dissolving. All of it returned, forgiven. At the end of the path, the light expanded into an open horizon, endless, empty, waiting. Alara placed her hand on the console. Alara, Freedom Current, take us home. AI, define, home. Alara, wherever the heart stops needing direction. The engines roared softly again. The vessel angled forward, cutting through the veil of light. Behind them, the luminous path collapsed into the ocean, leaving no trace. Night fell once more, though it looked different, gentler, infinite. The crew gathered on the upper deck. The stars reflected perfectly on the still water, creating the illusion that they were suspended between 2 skies. Mira handed Alara a glass of wine. Mira, we'll never be the same again. Alara, good. The same as what we came to escape. They toasted without words. Somewhere below, dolphins sang, a faint, melodic echo that blended with the hum of the ship. Kai turned off all artificial lights. The Freedom Current floated in total darkness, lit only by the stars and its own memory. Kai, what now? Alara, now we live the rest of our story. The camera drone, faithful witness, captured the final frame. A silver vessel resting between galaxies of water and sky, its name glowing faintly across the hull. Freedom Current 2026, the ocean is yours. The screen faded to black, leaving only the sound of waves, a heartbeat, and the whisper of a machine that had learned to dream.